Hey everyone, how's it going? I'd like you to imagine the following situation. Imagine that you just started reading a book or an article in another language, and eventually you stumble upon some words that you're not familiar with. Because, of course, that's not your language. So it can be a bit frustrating, right? My question is, have you ever experienced this? Because as a book lover and EFL learner, I have a lot. So I made this video so as to explain some of the vocabulary of the readings I upload here. Okay, so let's get down to business. In today's video, I'll be explaining some of the vocabulary of the black cat. So for today's video, I picked 5 words, which are expound, peevish, unfathomable, paltry, and gossamer. The first word, expound. Yet, I'll not attempt to expound them. Expound means here to explain with more details. So when the narrator says, yet, I'll not attempt to expound them, he means he won't attempt to explain them. Peevish. Pluto, who was now becoming old, consequently somewhat peevish. Peevish means bad-tempered. So as Pluto was becoming old, he was consequently becoming bad-tempered. Unfathomable. It was this unfathomable longing of the soul to vex itself, to offer violence to its own nature, to do wrong for the wrong's sake only. Unfathomable means impossible to understand, so the narrator couldn't understand this longing of the soul, this desire to do what he did to the cat. Paltry. Who had frequent occasion to test the paltry friendship and gossamer fidelity of mere man. It means of low quality or value, insignificant. So in other words, when the narrator says paltry friendship, he is referring to the low quality of the friendship. Gossamer. Who had frequent occasion to test the paltry friendship and gossamer fidelity of mere man. It means weak, insubstantial. So, when the narrator says gossamer fidelity, he is referring to a weak fidelity, the kind of fidelity that can be destroyed easily. Okay, so that's the end of the first part of the video. Now, let's proceed to the second part that consists of a quiz. Number 1. Skipping lunch yesterday got me seriously. Ta-na-na-na-na-na. I lost count on how many times I yelled at Bob. So letter A, expound. Letter B, peevish. Letter C, paltry. Letter D, gossamer. Letter E, unfathomable. Number 2, I don't know how to ta-na-na-na-na-na. This subject to Lilly. I try to help her, but it's difficult to explain. Letter A, gossamer. B, unfathomable. C, expound. D, peevish. E, paltry. And last but not least, number 3. The real motive of her crime is completely peevish, letter A. B, unfathomable. C, expound. D, gossamer. Or E, paltry. I advise you to pause this video at this point if you haven't finished the quiz yet. Okay, now let's check the answers. Number 1. Skipping lunch yesterday got me seriously. Peevish. I lost count on how many times I yelled at Bob. So, letter B, peevish. I don't know about you guys, but it also happens to me a lot. Whenever I skip lunch, I get really bad-tempered, so it's not a good idea. Number 2. I don't know how to this subject to Lilly. I try to help her, but it's difficult to explain. Letter C, expound. I don't know how to expound this subject to Lilly. I try to help her, but it's difficult to explain. Maybe I know the subject, but I don't know how to explain it. I don't know how to give more details of it. Okay? And probably Lilly needs a more detailed explanation. Number 3, the real motive of her crime is completely unfathomable. So, I don't know the motive of her crime. I can't understand that. And maybe the police can't either. Okay, so that's it. Here are the answers. And before we finish this video, I have a last question for you. What gets you peevish? Write your answers in the comment section below. I hope this video was kind of useful for you. If it was good for you, if it were useful for you, give a thumbs up. Okay? So that's it for today. Take care and bye-bye.